Hello friend, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayana. I am a self-taught fashion designer, and today we will be talking about manufacturing, where to start with that process, how to find a manufacturer, and a little bit of tips and tricks. Okay, so first things first, where do you find your manufacturers? For me, I use the app Alibaba. Mainly everybody I know uses Alibaba. That's what I was introduced to when I first started doing manufacturer design. But Alibaba is basically an app where you can communicate with different manufacturers from all over the world. You can have a Asian-based manufacturer, a European-based manufacturer, all over the world. And it's not even just for like clothing. You can find purse manufacturers, shoe manufacturers, home good manufacturers. There's all kinds of things. So even if you're not a fashion designer, you can go in there and find a manufacturer for just about everything. So yeah, I use Alibaba. Almost every fashion designer that I know uses Alibaba. I'm sure there are, other apps out there or places you can go to find manufacturers as well. And then, you can also find like US based manufacturers. Okay, so now on to the second thing that I do. So now that I have my sketch done, I got my tech pack looking good, I got my reference pictures for my design, everything checks out with the sketch. I'm going to now scout out a few different manufacturers, and then on Alibaba you can like search. Say for my next design I'm doing a maxi dress. Say you search up maxi dress and you see the different manufacturers that do maxi dresses. I would just go through and click on different ones, and then I think you can like heart it or save it on like your favorites. You know how you can go through different apps and like save, like, oh, I like this one, I like that thing, or whatever. You can do the same thing on Alibaba. So you can go through and save like ones that you click on and you're like, oh, okay, I like this one, let me come back to it later. Once I went through and like checked out different manufacturers and saved them, and I'll use the design I'm working on for example. So the design that I'm working on right now includes a custom fabric design that has to be digitally printed onto the fabric. So when I was searching for different manufacturers, I would look at ones that specifically provide the service of digital printing on fabric or custom fabric. And that's something that you want to keep in mind too, because different manufacturers will tell you what they specialize in. Say like they specialize in knits, or they specialize in digital printing, they specialize in a certain design. Some only specialize in like making really good dresses. You want to keep that in mind. Got a nice amount. I would say pick out as many as you can. I would really do as many as you can so you have options. You really want to have options when you're doing this process. So say I'm done scouting, I got 8 manufacturers. I'm going to message each one of those with my design. And when you're messaging them, you want to be as professional as possible. I'm gonna try to like add what I say into this video somewhere. I'm gonna see how I can do that. But for me, I actually have my iPad right here, so I can read what I actually say when I'm doing my process. Are ready to start the sampling process. You picked out 8 manufacturers to begin. You got your picture ready. You're ready to go. I usually send them a nice message like this along with the pictures. I usually say, hello, hope you are well. I am a US-based fashion designer. I'm looking to produce some custom designs. I've attached a PDF with sketches, usually meaning my tech pack. I need to switch that on, say my tech pack. Measurements as well as references below. Are you able to provide me with a sample? I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you in advance. And if you want, you can go ahead and take that same message and use it for your process as well. I do not mind. They will begin to message you back, and then they'll even start out by saying, okay, let me look over your design, let me let me look at all the details, make sure they want to make sure they have the fabric, make sure that the design is something that they can do. Because sometimes I've had a manufacturer before tell me like, oh, this is a little too difficult, and you want them to say that. You don't want them to just be like, oh yeah, I could do it, and then you get in and it does not look good. But yeah, they'll begin to message you back, and then as you begin to communicate with them, and one is talking your language or whoever you feel is the best, I would go with them. But usually I don't settle on it immediately. I hear from every single manufacturer. I'm looking at the prices, who has the better price, who's talking better. And I also like when they send their like previous work. For example, with my last one, like I said, I'm doing a digital printed design onto the fabric. So they actually sent me pictures of like, hey, this is the password, this is some digital print designs that we did this past year. You want to go with people that do stuff like that too, and also ask as many questions as you want. Be annoying, ask them as many questions as you want. You want to get as many details as possible and make sure that you guys are on the same page. Me, when I started out, I was still learning, and there's like some things that I was kind of like off with, like my measurements and stuff. Oh, also, speaking of measurements, make sure you do, for Asian based, I think it might be all like other countries outside of the US, they measure in centimeters. So make sure when you do your measurements, you're doing them in centimeters. I did not know that. So like my first couple of manufacturing dealings, I was not getting it right, and we would just be confused with each other, like when communicating, like why is it not translating to the length that I want. So yeah, make sure that you measure in centimeters. Times where they'll message you like, hey, you said you wanted a zipper here, or this measurement is off, and you're like, oh shoot, I need a second. Especially this used to happen to me all the time when I was first starting out, because I'm still learning like garment construction and things like that. So you might need to like look over something or look up something. Just lie and be like, or don't lie. Just say, actually it's a form of manifesting. Just be like, hey, give me a second to run this over with my team, and I'll get back to you on this. You just manifesting your team. You're not lying. Just manifesting. But yeah, I was like, keep it professional and be like, oh yeah, let me run this by my team. Or they'll be like, oh, this fabric, like, are you sure it's this one? This weight. It's just different details. Just do that. Just be like, hey, let me run it by my team, and I'll get back to you. And one last thing, make sure you negotiate, especially when it comes to the MOQ, which is like the minimum amount of pieces that you can get in your bulk order. Starting out, I always negotiated, because a lot of them try to start you out, or they might not want to work with you if you are starting out with a smaller bulk order amount than usual. But I just negotiate. I usually get it down to at least 50. I'm not sure if anybody got it down lower than that. Anybody I know? I'm not sure. And I think it also depends on like what you're designing as well. I do know like maybe like graphic tees and stuff, you can negotiate a little lower, because it's not that crazy to make. But definitely negotiate that amount. But yeah, that is all I have for this video. I'm sure I'll probably make another video about it, because I'm sure I probably forgot something. I'll probably be making another video about manufacturing, because there's just so much you can get into, and I'm sure I probably forgot something. But as always, thank you for your support, and until next time, bye.